But not running, not doing anything else. Here he is, the quarterback that impressed a lot of people in Indianapolis, with all eyes on him. More from Oklahoma coming up a little bit later, and more as well on NFL Now, and later on Total Access from Wisconsin Pro Day. Jonathan Taylor burned up the track in Indianapolis. We'll hear from him. Also working out today, linebacker Zach Vaughn. So two big pro days today. We have you covered here on NFL Network as we get closer to the draft and once again closer to free agency. Enough about Tom Brady. Let's talk about some of the other guys that are going to get paid. Guys like, say, Jadeveon Clowney or Byron Jones or Austin Hooper. Tom Pelissero's got a story. You should read it right now. It's on NFL.com. Tom is with me, with Mike Garafolo and Mike Silver. All three of my friends are back. Let's start with you, Tom. It's not just Tom Brady. There are checks being written. Like to whom?
Andrew, you're going to see some eye-popping numbers at the top of the defensive back market, and it does start with Byron Jones, former Cowboys first-round draft pick, a versatile corner, probably not a household name because he only has 2 career interceptions, but I'm told that by NFL executives they expect Jones' contract to land somewhere between $16 and $18 million a year, which would make him the highest-paid DB in NFL history. Safety is going to get thinned out. Justin Simmons likely to be franchised by the Broncos, according to John Elway. That leaves Anthony Harris from the Vikings as a guy that teams expect to get paid. His number could push into the $14 million per year range. We've seen offensive tackles reset the market each of the past 2 years. Could happen again. Jack Conklin from the Titans, his number expected to be potentially close to $17 million a year. Let's talk skill guys. There aren't a lot of headliners in this free agent class, but Austin Hooper, Falcons are not going to franchise tag him. Doesn't sound like an extension coming there. That tight end market has needed to be reset. Expect Hooper to do it upwards of $10 million per year.
Byron Jones is a really interesting one to me. Dallas Cowboy. Now he's got the Giants. He's got the Eagles in play. There's been talk that the Jets are going to get involved, which could scare the Giants. You've got what you need if you're going into free agency is a couple of teams to be high bidders, but also to be afraid of each other. And that's a great spot for Byron Jones to be in right now. A versatile guy, a safety corner, a little bit of a combo player who could do. I mean, look, you look at the numbers. He doesn't have a lot of interceptions. I think he's got one. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head, but that's not really his game. He can go out there and match up with different kinds of players and stick right on their hip. So he is going to get paid, like Tom said, going to be the highest paid NFL defensive back ever, probably on a per year basis. Huge money coming Byron Jones' way.
Yeah, and I think there are going to be linebackers out there, too, and teams like the Packers who really need help at inside linebacker. Going to take a look at Corey Littleton of the Rams if he is not franchise tagged. Devondre Campbell of the Falcons could be a name that not many fans know, but who could get an eye-popping contract. And so, you know, listen, if the CBA gets approved especially, the cap's going way up every year. And, you know, whoever happens to be free in the right time or at the right time in this cycle and can create a bidding war, as Tom and Mike said, you're going to see some guys get those big deals. And Tom's story was very thorough. I hope people will check it out on NFL.com. And I hope they'll be watching all of us in the coming days as the free agency frenzy approaches, because we're going to be on TV way too much talking about this.
Beginning on Sunday for the free agency frenzy. How about David Onyemata, Garafolo? He's likely getting paid, too. Not everyone knows him, but they should.
Yeah. Two things. I was told at the beginning of the segment, my reaction was caught on camera. We're having connection issues. I thought I lost the connection just as I was about to talk. That's why I freaked out like that. Very happy to still be here. Thank you. So let me get this point in while I'm still connected. David Onyemata, that was the name in Tom's story. I said, this name better be in here. Otherwise, I'm not endorsing your story. And sure enough, it was in there. David Onyemata, a guy who really hadn't even seen a football game when he came from Nigeria to Canada. He played up there, did not play a ton in college, and then gets to the Saints and just continues to improve year after year after year. So in the coming days here, as Tom noted in his story, which I endorse, David Onyemata might wind up getting $10 million or more per year. And a lot of people are going to say, who just got what? Yes, David Onyemata, he's about to get paid.
The defensive linemen, not talking pass rushers, but defensive linemen should do well here. Javon Hargrave is one everybody's watching from the Steelers. That contract can end up north of $14 million a year. And yes, as Mike said, Onyemata is somebody in that upwards of $10 million range potentially, along with the likes of Jaron Reed from the Seahawks, DJ Reader from the Texans, as well as Ashawn Robinson from the Lions. Again, not a lot of guys that people are talking about as being the top players in the game or household names, but all those guys in line to get paid. There are not enough big men on earth who can do what those guys do.
Nope, and that's a valuable skill.
What's a tougher endorsement? What's a tougher endorsement, Elizabeth Warren or Mike Garafolo endorsing your pre-free agency article? I don't know, man. It's a tough call.
I've got a no politics policy, so I'm not touching that one. Okay?
It was actually Kate McKinnon, not Elizabeth Warren. Hold on, Silver, stay there. Thank you, Garofalo. Thank you, Pelissero. As Mike reminded you, it is a free agency frenzy, and it does begin on Sunday. If memory serves, 1 o'clock Eastern time, I will be in this very chair, and we will be, at that point, we'll know whether or not the CBA was voted up or voted down. We still don't know. But, hey, Silver, thanks for sticking around. Let me ask you this. Do we know, should the Falcons have tried to get a deal with Austin Hooper before all of this?
Well, they certainly could have done that early in the season and even late in the season. And I spent some time with Austin Hooper yesterday. He said he expected back in October, November to be a Falcon for life. He was kind of getting some signals from the organization that they were going to offer him an extension. And in retrospect, they could have gotten it done for far less than he is very likely to command at the start of free agency. As Tom mentioned, he will likely reset the tight end market. Right now, Jimmy Graham, the highest average per season at $10 million a year, $22 million in guarantees. Trey Burton, that was at the top with the Bears a couple years ago. And once that market gets reset, by the way, look for Zach Ertz in Philadelphia and then George Kittle, the mother lode in San Francisco, to go above what Hooper gets. But Hooper quietly has been a very, very productive guy the last couple of years. He said he has no hard feelings toward the Falcons. He said, hey, everybody says great things about you until it's time to settle up. And he said that with a smile. But he is very excited about this process. And there have been already some feelers from teams like the Packers and Washington and the Bears, who are clearly looking for a tight end for various reasons. But I also think you're going to see a couple of dark horses get into the Hooper game, one in each conference. And keep an eye. This is going to be a very, very competitive situation in the coming days.
Hey, George Kittle, when he gets to free agency, should ask for tackle money. He's a tackle who also happens to catch the